All right, so this document covers all the different sorting information that you'll need to know for this class. So um, I'll upload this document and you can work on these, but I'm going to go through the different sorts and the basics. So sorting information, the purpose of sorting information is to rearrange your data. So in terms of like where you use this, we'll use this in arrays and array lists. And so we do this all the time to make meaning out of our data. We'll sort from lowest to high or highest to low. And so, our key field is our, just like our array, our data inside of our array. Okay. Key value is just like a specific value. So in this example, I think I use like an array with names, and so the value in here, like a specific last name, would be like my last name, Seeley, or whatever. You're always looking at the size or the size of the array. Because you need to sort from like the beginning to the end, or from the end to the beginning, or whatever you're doing. And so two types of sorts you could do: an incremental or a divide and conquer. So the incremental is doing like one at a time. Divide and conquer splits up your information, and then it would sort that split up piece of information, and then it would kind of bring it back together. So that's just this first page. So the first one we'll look at is the selection sort. So you guys can read all this stuff. I guess the best way for me is just to go through how the selection sort works. So let's say you have this information right here. You have an array of integers, and you have 50, 60, 30, 20, 45. So what this does is it takes your first index field, which would be 0, and what it does is it finds the lowest value in here, because we're going to sort from low to high. So it then swaps those. So it would go 60, 30, 20. It finds the lowest one, and then it swaps those. And really what it does is it goes 50 is less than 60, so then we'll skip 60. Then it goes 50 is less than 30, so this is now our new kind of low. And then we've got to compare this to this to this. 20 is now our new low, and so now 20 is kind of held as the lowest, and then 20 is compared to 45. And since 20 is the lowest out of all of these that we looked at, then what happens is 50 and 20 are then swapped. So 20 is now in index position 0, and 50 is now in index position 3. Okay. Now what happens is we go to the next index position, which is index position 1, and then we compare these. 30 is the new lowest, so then it compares 30, 50, and 45. Since 30 is less than all of these, then 60 and 30 are swapped, so you get something like this. And then you would just keep going on, all right? So that's the selection sort. So it's just doing one at a time and then swapping those. Okay, if they're the lowest, then we swap them with the lowest. Okay, this is the code for it. So you can see there's a nested for loop. Let's go down. Here's the insertion sort, and again, you can read this, but this is kind of like your poker hand sort. And so what it does is you have your original, and so then what happens is basically you kind of compare just the first two. Since 30 is less than 50, 30 is put into position 0, and 50 is moved to position 1. Then we go to the next one where 60 is, and we compare 60 and where does it fit in this list of 30, 50. Well, 60 is the largest, so it's at the end. And then we go to the next one. 30, 50, 60, 40. And so then what happens is 40 is going to be put into index position 1, and then everything else will be moved down 1. So then we have 30, 40, 50, 60. So 50 got moved down to index position 2, and 60 gets moved down into index position 3. And so then we go to 45. Where is that going to fit? That's going to fit right here in index position 2, and then 50 and 60 will get bumped down 1 spot. Okay, and I explained that in here. All right, so this is the insertion sort. You can see that there are nested loops here, as well as the insertion sort. Now, sorry, as the selection sort. The insertion and selection sort, they I believe they run the exact same speed because they're both for loops, and they both have to run through the length of your array. So it's, I don't think anyone gives you an advantage in speed. They're just different ways to do it. So, you know, right here, your job is to print this out and to try these on your own. I gave you guys a few different examples that we would normally do during class, and we still may do it in class if we're here. But for now, you can watch this video and just do these on your own. So, you know, I provide the answers. Now, this last one, I don't give you any practice with, but this one's pretty easy too. So the way that the merge sort works, this is the divide and conquer one. So let's say this is your array of values. What it's going to do is it's going to chop them in half. So it will take this 4 and this 4. Now, if there was an odd value, like let's say this 25 didn't exist right here and we had an odd value of numbers, then it would just do these first 4 and these last 3. Okay, and so then what it does is it chops the values up again. So it you know, we chop, we've got here, 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 and here. And we chop them up again, and then we start building them back. So, you know, we compare these ones, 30 and 50. 30 is less than 50. 60 and 20, so 20 and 60. 15, 45, 76 and 25, so it ends up looking like that. Then we build these back together again. So we're sorting within here, 20, 30, 50, 60, and then 15, 25, 45, 75. And then finally we merge them back together again. And so the merge sort uses recursion, which we won't look at recursion until the second semester. It's our last unit, second semester. It's either a last unit or second to the last unit. So you can kind of look at the code for that. Again, this one would likely take longer than all of them because you've got multiple loops that have to run through. You know, here's this loop running through the first half, and then this one's running through the second half, and then we merge them, and we're running loops here, here, and here. So, anyway, that's this document. You can go through it and practice that on your own. So.